Keegan Murray goes on a historical run against the Utah Jazz, knocks Utah out. The 2-game losing streak is over, and the beam has been lit in Sacramento. We're talking about it coming up on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Utah Jazz fall to the Sacramento Kings 125-104. They were down 12 at the end of one. They stayed down 12 at the half. And then Keegan Murray hit 7 threes in the third quarter on his way to a historical night, the most threes ever by a player against the Utah Jazz. Only the 10th player ever in NBA history to ever have 12 threes in a game. And the Utah Jazz fall to the Sacramento Kings by 21 tonight. Ron Boone?
What do you think? Fun to watch. It was fun to watch, even though the Jazz lost. You know, you understand when guys feel it, when they get hot, you know, they feel like everything they throw up is going to go in. He didn't force anything, and those shots were just money. Beautiful, beautiful game for him.
Jazz have been playing the zone and kind of living by the zone. Is this dying by the zone?
I don't think so. I think, you know, you're going to have nights where guys are just hot and shooting the basketball well. I thought Sabonis got things going, but where he bullied his way around in the middle of the paint and was scoring there in the paint. And the rotation just sometimes gets off a little bit. And they were ready for it. You heard Mike Brown talk about the defense that the Jazz are playing in the coaches' interview before the ball game, so they were ready for it. And then Bradley gets hot. So you know, what can you do?
All right, so let's walk through this game.
Murray.
Let's walk through this for a minute, because actually you bring up a really good point. The game really starts with Sabonis. The storyline now is Murray, but the storyline to start tonight is Sabonis, and he gets 10 points in the first quarter on 5 of 5 shooting. He actually finishes 9 of 10 tonight. He made his first 9 shots. It was Sabonis just bullying Kelly Olynyk and Walker Kessler and getting in the middle of the zone and just anchoring the pace of the game that allowed for the Keegan Murray thing to happen.
He's 7 foot, 6'11", 7 foot. Doesn't play up above the rim, uses his body and just enough to get you off balance. And then he comes back over the right shoulder and puts it in the basket. And he did that time and time again there in the first quarter. I think he was 7 for 7, or did he go 8 for 8?
Yeah.
I know he was 7 for 7.
He was 9 for 9 before he missed his first shot.
Yeah, so you get to the point where you're trying to defend him, and he's so good at moving the basketball around. He ended up with how many assists did he? Ended up with 8 assists tonight and 10 rebounds. So he had a solid basketball game there as well.
Now, and without Fox, the question was, could they maintain their tempo? If you watch him regularly, he rebounds in outlets. Tonight, he didn't rebound an outlet at all. He rebounded and just brought it up himself and initiated the entire offense.
And why not? He's a great passer. He sees the floor very, very well. It makes good decisions out there. And you know, he can play bully ball, you know, sometimes. So that's if that was the game plan, it was perfect. But if it was something that he just took up on himself to do, it was perfect there as well.
Kelly Olynyk had a great offensive game. He had 13 assists. Defensively, he is not much of an impact around the rim or out on the perimeter.
6'11", he just doesn't play big.
Yeah,
he uses his body and you know, uses the Euro stuff offensively. Defensively, he just does not play big. Would like to have seen him be a little more physical with Sabonis, but you know, he just doesn't play big. But he does see the floor and knows how to distribute the ball.
There is an illness going through this team, so I get a little hesitant anytime anybody has a bad stat line right now, because I wonder whether or not we're going to see them on the next time. But I do want to just bring this up because Walker Kessler tonight plays 18 minutes and does not take a shot. He has 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, no steals, and 1 turnover. He had like his best game of the year last year here against Domantas Sabonis. He was not impactful at all tonight.
I totally agree, and I said this during the broadcast. He has to have a stronger base. I mean, he has to use that. He plays straight up a lot. And you can't play that straight up with a guy like Sabonis who will bang you and get to the point where you're underneath the basket, and now you can't, you can't keep it from scoring.
Let's touch on Kelly's 13 assists. What did you see there? That was fun.
Well, he's always going, that's his game. It's his game. He doesn't need a lot of shot attempts. Only took 7 attempts tonight, made 4. He's always going to shoot a pretty good field goal percentage. But he's just a perfect player, I think, for an offense that doesn't need a lot of scoring from him, and can seize the offense and can distribute the basketball. But he's just a solid player to have on the team, and Will has a lot of confidence in him.
One of the questions was on our chat room. I can't find it anymore. I didn't see the game tonight. Was Hendrick's line as good as it looks? That's what people want to know. His line tonight, which is interesting that they think it looks that good. I guess it's in 12 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. What do you think of Taylor Hendricks tonight?
Well, like I said, in every game, he seems to get better. He seems to now being able to understand the game a little bit more, and I think Will touched on that as well. He made one great play without the basketball tonight, cutting to the basket, caught it on the move, finished on the right side, which was awesome. But for the most part, he's had those corner looks, those corner threes, and he's getting better. I haven't watched him shoot them this morning. Wasn't that good, but, that doesn't say a lot, because once you get into the basketball game, that's what it happened. But you can see the improvement of him. Now, will he stay at this level for the rest of the year? Who knows?
Because when John Collins comes back, it's hard to figure out where his minutes would be.
Yeah.
But Taylor, that corner 3 is clearly a shot he's very, very comfortable grabbing in that ballgame. So Jazz fall 125-104. And again, the story, Keegan Murray, 12 of 15 from 3, 47 points, 16 of 23 from the field overall. I will say I was pretty impressed with Keegan Murray in that he didn't hunt the next 3. He kept playing the game, and even late in the game,
drove to the basket.
He backdoor cutted because the Jazz were overplaying, tried to deny him to get a dunk. I thought he really played the game as it was supposed to be, and those threes, a lot of them were trailing threes in transition where the Jazz got set in their zone, and then it's a pretty good way to beat the zone. If the zone is set, and particularly if it's a box and one and someone's trailing, there's no one coming all the way out to get him, and he got a bunch that way.
Yeah, it's just very good, smart basketball, I thought. And like I said earlier, I think Mike Brown was totally ready for it. Now, will we see that going forward with other teams being totally ready for it? They might not have a Sabonis. The next team, if we play as Brooklyn, they won't have a Sabonis that can control the game for the most part.
I mean, what's interesting is, and we talk about this in the open of our broadcast, the average team in the NBA plays 3 possessions of zone a night. In other words, they bring it out of a timeout to surprise you. The Miami Heat play the most zone of any team in the league. They play 10. We played 56 against Portland and 63 against New York. Nobody has ever played zone defense in the NBA as their primary defense. We did it for 2 nights. But can you play zone defense as your primary defense in the NBA?
It's awfully tough with a good shooting team like the Jazz have ran into tonight. And true enough, Murray had a great shooting night. But just think if Fox was here, it probably would have been about the same anyway. But it's awfully tough to make a steady diet, I think, of playing a zone against a team that can shoot as well as the Kings did tonight, strictly because if you got good ball movement, you're going to get a good shot.
You bring up an interesting point. I don't know if I have this up anymore. I do. And that is, if we look at you bring up, let me see. I wonder if I can find this. I don't think I have it. Maybe I do. Yep, here it is. I mean, this is a great point. So they have on the floor tonight. Oh, no, I don't have it. Maybe I have it. Yep, I have it. They have on the floor tonight, guys on their floor tonight, Malik Monk, 43% from 3. Sabonis, 40% from 3. Ellis, 39% from 3. Fox, 39% from 3. Barnes, 38% from 3. Vezenkov, 36. Herter, 36. Trey Lyles, 33, played limited. Keegan Murray, ironically enough, 30% from 3. And then Davion Mitchell didn't really play. So other than Keegan Murray, Every single guy in this league is a 36% three-point shooter. That makes it awfully hard to play the zone. The other nights against New York and against Portland, they had some guys that weren't good shooters on the floor, which allows you to kind of box in one and understand where you maybe are willing to let a shot go. Keegan Murray at 30.7% was probably the guy you were willing to let shoot tonight. He just went, he's not 30.7 anymore, and he wasn't 30.7 as a rookie.
Yeah, but just think about that, though, David, what you're saying. You have a ton of great shooters or very good shooters shooting a great percentage, and they play fast, and so they probably get a lot of three-shot attempts in transition. Tonight, that wasn't totally the thing because I don't know if you can tell me. I don't think they ran as much and ran and got threes as often as they did. But anytime you're going to play a zone, if you got good shooters and good ball movement, you're going to get some very good looks.
All right, Ron Boone, it is time.
Sexton and Olynyk.
Okay. Sexton and Olynyk it is. No need to fight about that one.
No.
Jazz lose tonight, 125-104. Keegan Murray is the story. And the Jazz fall by 21 in Sacramento, ending their two-game win streak. We'll be back against Brooklyn on Monday from Delta Center. Thanks very much for tuning in, and now we will send you to the first ever 24/7 national sports live stream on YouTube, Locked On Sports Today.